Hey everybody, DCDar here, and this video is a tool exhibition of using and having an offering bowl. Now, I actually got this earlier today, a few hours ago actually, when I came home from work, and I actually originally had a different offering bowl. I had two actually, but what happened was one of them broke, and the other one, well, I didn't want to bring it with me when I was on vacation back home. And so I just decided to leave it. I get to it eventually, get it sent back up here. But now I have this one. It's a wooden bowl, so I don't have to worry about it breaking if it fell or anything like that. Because with my old offering bowls, I had to be very careful to not drop it. As soon as it dropped, clink, broke, 1,000 pieces. But now with this one, I mean, I can drop it as much as I want to, and it'll be fine. So long as I don't take like an axe to it or a rock or anything like that. But anyway, so the topic of this video is a tool exhibition on having an offering bowl. Now, when it comes to having an offering bowl, you don't really need anything that fancy. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. I mean, was like an $8 bowl, I believe. So it doesn't have to be exquisite because when you think about it, do you really have to pay $50, $75 to get a simple bowl that's just gonna hold an offering? Like, it doesn't need to be expensive. The In my belief, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get good quality things, especially when it comes to religion, because the gods will accept whatever you have so long as you think in your heart it's good. Then bam, there you go. That's your answer. Is it good enough? Do you think it's good enough? Yes. Bam. There you go. You're not trying to cut yourself short, or you're not trying to be like, oh, well, I'll just get it really cheap and just call it a day, because in your heart, when you think about it, when you hold this to the gods, you're like, I could have done better, And when you have that sense of guilt, it's like, yeah, this isn't something that's worthy of, the God's sight, or giving it to them. But with me, I just got a normal salad bowl, honestly. I was actually expecting it to be a lot bigger than this, but this is actually the perfect size. I'm glad that I didn't get the huge one that I thought I was getting, because this is exactly what I need. It's a nice wooden bowl. It's nothing too fancy. It's just an average bowl. Now, what do you give as an offering in the first place? Well, that depends on you. For me, since I'm an eclectic pagan, I don't really have a specific pantheon that I follow, such as Greek, Norse, Celtic, Japanese, or anything like that. I don't follow any of those type of pantheons. What my thing is, you just pick and choose what you like. Now, because of me being very open-minded and being very expansive in my faith, with me, it doesn't take a lot for me to be happy, honestly. I don't require to have a ton of, when it comes to a pantheon at least. Like, I don't need a ton of structure of, as far as who are the gods, they are this, they are that, that kind of thing, because I just use my own mental observations and spiritual observations, as well as things that I see in the world and read and stuff like that, to get my own input on what the gods are and who they are. I don't need to have a specific deity with a specific name, specific tradition. It's just something that, for me, I just allow to come along naturally. I mean, not to say that anybody who follows the pantheon is wrong. Obviously not. To each their own, so long as there's happiness. But I'm just saying, from my point of view, how I see things and how I, and only I, practice. So when I do things such as rituals, when it comes to a bowl like this, what can you do with it? What do you do with it? For if you're new, or if you've never even thought of having an offering bowl, what can you put in it? Anything, honestly. You can put liquids into it. You can put solids into it. Sweets, like milk, honey, juice, water. You can actually buy a salad and put salad in here, or sweets such as cake, or just like bread, cornbread, anything that's not gonna cause a mess. I would say just put it in there. And even if it causes like a little bit of like residue, like honey, for example, that'll definitely cause a residue. Just make sure you wash it off. Make sure you wash it off really well, and use hot water to make sure that all of the honey or anything that leaves a residue is out of the bowl, because the last thing you want is to have mold growing on it, especially if it's a wooden bowl. It'll just make it a lot worse. So yeah, you can just do that. And when you give your offerings, there isn't a specific way that you do it or have to do it. just do what feels right for you. Look it up online. Like, for example, with me, when I do my offerings, typically I do that around the middle to the end, around the end of the ritual, honestly, because after for me, how I do it typically, because it depends on what the holiday is, or even if it's not a holiday, just a normal celebration. Um, I could do it differently. Sometimes I might do it in the beginning of the ritual or the end of the ritual. End of the ritual, sorry. But typically, it's around the end, middle end of the ritual. And what I normally do is just, um, depending what it's for, basically to say, hey, you know, to the gods I give this blank, and you fill in the blank with whatever you have in here, and you say what you're offering, why you're offering it, and what is it for. Like, what is the purpose of the item that you're offering? Is it something like, one time I had a Mabon ritual, and I had an offering bowl, not this one, I had a different one, and I filled it with like almonds, and I left that out for the animals. So I'd say, like, to the gods I give this offering to sustain the squirrels or the wildlife as they prepare for the impending cold. Now, that's obviously not what I said word for word, but that's, it's just to give a sample, a little bit of inspiration of what you can use it for. Like if it's around at a time for an animal to get ready to go into slumber, you can leave some food out. Um, Anything natural, some nuts. Just make sure that it's something that's natural and doesn't have like a shit ton of preservatives or anything like that. You don't want to get the animal sick or anything like that, or leave bread out, especially if you're by a lake, because birds will get in, and it's not healthy for birds to even have bread in their system. So you can do anything like that. And then once you give your offering, you can either pour it out. I remember one ritual I did actually. It was a litha ritual. And what I did was I bought a cake. I bought an entire cake, and I ate part of it, not half of it. I think it was a little less than half, and then the rest I gave as offerings. And I had a stream that actually flowed around my ritual space on a cliff. Excuse me. So what happened? How it looked is, imagine this is the area where my ritual space is, and then under it, it was like a stream that flowed around it. So I went down to the edge of it, to the shore, and then I just get some cake and I break it up and I put it into the river or the stream. Same difference, I guess. Um, and then just watch it flow down, and it felt so good to me, because it was like just that calmness of, like, I'm giving this offering, and it's gonna be taken by the animals, and what doesn't get taken by the animals is gonna soak, and then it's gonna become part of the river. And it's like you get that feeling of the cycle of life. You really do when you do these rituals, and that's what really gravitated me to it. Because every time I finished, I was like, that was really good. And I believe I had some milk too. I had milk, and I also had some cake, and the milk I poured in as well to give as an offering. It wasn't a full gallon. I think it was like a half gallon. I don't remember because it was like over a year ago. It was like a year and a half to 2 years ago. So I really do remember doing that. So just some pointers. Of course, you don't have to follow exactly what I do, because with me, I mean, we're all learning. You don't have to follow what I say or what anybody else says. Just research and do your own research, and do what you feel is right for you. For my offering bowl, I fill it up with anything, or even a combination of solids and liquids. Some people may decide to have two different bowls. It just depends on you. Some people don't even need a bowl. They just have like some special place within their altar if they have one, and they just put their offerings on there and just leave it out if they have a permanent altar outside for the animals to get. So it wouldn't be something they would just take with them. Like, this is your altar, and you have your offerings there, and you just leave it there until it goes away, till the animals take it, because they'll inevitably take it, obviously. So, this is just some inspiration on how you can use an offering bowl. If you haven't had one before, maybe you can look into getting one if you want to, but that's a decision that's best left for you, not for someone like me. I mean, we're following most likely two totally different spiritual beliefs. So just do what feels right to you. No pressure, no anything. So, This is Dishadar here. Please like, subscribe, definitely subscribe, and definitely I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section about what do you do as far as your offerings. Like, I like to hear feedback on all my videos. Like, what do you think about what I said? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What is your personal practice? What is your opinion based upon what I said? Do you have any other input? Stuff like that. I love hearing from the community, and especially me getting back into the swing of having videos. I really would appreciate the input from the pagan community, because I'm not here for me, I'm here for you, so that we can both learn from each other. It's like a synergy. So this is Dishadar here. Have a good day, and thank you for watching my video. Thank you for taking the time out. So make sure you have a good day, and I'll see you later in the next video. Bye.